Welcome back to another video that we're going to talk about books again. I'd like to do a video about all the books I've read in March. This month I'm trying to read books that are not in the mainstream, so I wanted to explore different genre and also books that are slightly unpopular because I feel like they have so much potential and they deserve so much more recognition as well. I hope this video is gonna inspire you to read some of the books that are not in the mainstream, and also I hope you enjoy some of the book recommendations. So we have different, quite a broad diversity of books this month. Some of the books are really weird. That is really interesting and fascinating. There is a book that is more like heartwarming and really good for you to read if you're like a book lover. And also I will share some of my TBR for the books that I'm going to read in April as well. Book number 1 of the month is Nudes by Saba Sands. This is a short story books. It has 10 different individual stories. They're not related at all, so it's really short read. It's only about 200 pages. So in these 10 stories, the author kind of dives into the world of girlhood and immerse ourselves in the contradiction and complexities of being a girl and woman. So they are all totally different stories. I would say the first half of it is more enjoyable than the second half of it. I do like the first 5 stories. I love, there are some of them that I really like and enjoy, and I find them really inspiring and relatable personally. So my favorite one is Snakebite, Send Nudes, and Tinderloy. They are about like girls trying to figure out themselves and their identities, and also how to navigate in the world of relationship, like having a relationship with different people. So they're really interesting. But then the second half of it is a bit chaotic and a bit too much for me. The character in these 10 stories are going through something problematic or traumatic. All 10 of these characters need therapy. They need help. So I would say the second half of it is a bit too much for me to digest. I felt a bit mind blown by what they're going through, and I'm just not so sure whether do I entirely enjoy them. And yeah, so I was a bit unsure about this book. But if you're interested in what they're going through in their life and what these girls are having their traumatic problems, you can give it a try because it's really easy to read. It's really short stories and nothing too much. Book number 2, that it's more like a mainstream book, I guess. I didn't pick it out in March. I actually bought it last year, but then it has been sitting on my floor for ages, and I decided to read it because after reading Send Nudes, I need something that is really lighthearted and really easy to read to balance it all out. So I read The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This book is a classic rom-com book, really cutesy and really easy to read as well. It's about fake dating and best friend to lovers. So the girl called Bree, who is secretly in love with her longtime best friend, who is called Nathan, and he's a famous football player. One day, Bree got drunk and then she accidentally spilled her like deepest and darkest secrets to a reporter. So the viral video come out and everyone think Nathan and her is like a perfect couple for each other. So they ended up doing fake dating for Nathan's image, public image, and also for the publicity. Really cutesy, really easy to read, and if you want something like really lighthearted or you wanted to read some rom-com book to balance it all out, if you're heavy reading, you can always go for Sarah Adams books. She also came out like 2 books last year that are kind of popular, which is called When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect. This book is like an earlier book that she came out, so it's pretty good as well. So if you like those 2 books, you would love her books as well. I guess Sarah Adams did a really good job in writing rom-com books, so yeah. Book number 3 is a book that I picked out in an independent queer bookstore in Leeds, which is this one. This is also a genre that I didn't really usually go for. It's like queer fiction. So this story is about the character called Arthur Les. Is like a failed novelist about to turn 50, and a wedding invitation arrives in the post, and it is from an ex-boyfriend of 9 years who is engaged to someone else. And of course, Arthur is trying to afford going to the wedding, so he decided to go on different tours for his writing career. So he went to Japan, Germany, India, Italy, Mexico, to try to avoid addressing the issue of his ex-boyfriend. The setting of this book is giving me the vibe of Eat, Pray, Love, the main character trying to find himself in different places. And I would say I don't really like this book. This book doesn't really work on me. I really do hope that I like it, because I feel like the story has such good potential, but then it just don't really work on me. Each chapter is about his experience in different countries, but for me, it doesn't really have a plot. Each chapters are basically the same. The plot is basically the same to me. It's like he's going on a new adventure in a different country, he met different people, and then he has to leave them to another country. I don't really feel the change of the personal development of the character, and I don't feel connected to him at all. And I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. I don't know, maybe it's personal. Some people find it really funny when I read the reviews online. Some people find the books really funny, but to me, it didn't really work that out. So, yeah, I don't really recommend this book. Book number 4 is one of my favorite books that I've read this month. It's a book picked out by Dakota Johnson. She started her own book club, which is called the Tea Time Book Club, and this is the first book that they pick out in March. It's called Beautyland. I read it on Kindle, so I don't have the physical copy of the book. It's a book that it's about an alien called Adina, and she was sent to Earth from another planet, and her job is to try to live as a human being on Earth, and she's gonna report all her observation to her supervisors. Although this book is about alien, it's definitely not a sci-fi fiction. It doesn't really talk about aliens from another planet. It's mostly focusing on her experience in living on Earth. Her observation about Earth is really fascinating and weird at the same time. It's definitely the book that kind of grows on you gradually. I remember when I was like on page 50, I was still a bit unsure about this book because I don't know what she's trying to say. But then gradually, after like 100 pages, I'm just so captivated by her observation about Earth. The entire book kind of go through different stages of Adina, from her childhood to adults, or when she's like 30 living in New York. So it goes through different life chapter of Adina and also her experience living on Earth. Every day she will type with a fax machine about her observation every day in life. The observation could be something really ordinary, really small things, and she will report it to her supervisor. And I love those observations so much. Those are like my favorite parts of the books, because I feel like I'm seeing the life that we're living as an outsider, and it gives me another point of view about life. Even Adina's points out something that I've never thought of, and they're really interesting observations. Sometimes it's really weird observation, but they're just really inspiring at the same time. I do have a couple favorite observations that I would like to share with you. This is one of them. So she says, human beings did not think their lives were challenging enough, so they invented roller coasters. A roller coaster is a series of problems on a steel track. Upon encountering real problems, human beings compare their lives to riding a roller coaster, even though they invented roller coaster to be fun things to do on their day off. This is so cool. And there's one of them that I really, really like. It kind of like hit me. Don't go into autopilot. Every movement has an intention, and every intention has a purpose. It's just, I love how the author brings different perspective about life and some inspiring thoughts from the perspective of an alien. It's like an outsider living in our world. In certain times of your life, you often feel like you are an outsider because you felt lost and you can't really find someone that you felt really related to. So it's like reading this book is like living this life as an outsider, and the author kind of encourage you that it's okay if you act or think different than the normal people, because that means you're living in this, that means you're actually finding the purpose of life. This book is really deep, so you really do need to take time to read each sentence and think about the weights of the words, which I felt is so special. I've never read something like this before, and I really enjoy this book. I do recommend you guys to join her book club. You don't really need subscription at all. You just join their podcast channel on Instagram. They're gonna release a book each month. You kind of get more background information about the book, some like information about the author, how does she come up with the idea. So for example, in March, they comes out like a Spotify playlist for this book. So it's so interesting, so amazing. It does help you to dive into the book even better. So it makes your reading experience even more interesting. So last book that I read in March is also one of my favorite books so far, which is called The Lonely Hearts Book Club. In general, this book is for all the people who are book lovers, and you will love it if you love books. And basically it's about a woman called Sloane Parker who is a librarian, and that's how she met an old grumpy man who is called Arthur. Arthur comes to the library every single day until one day Sloane didn't see him anymore, and that kind of concerned Sloane. So that's why she decided to check out on him. She went to his place and visited him every single day, and gradually they started their own little book club. They invited their friends and neighbors to join in, and each chapter is writing from the point of view of each members of the book club. And overall, I just adore each of the characters, and I enjoy reading their backstories and the way they find each other to be part of this really unique community. This book is really genuine, sentimental, really engaging, and it's just really heartwarming as well. I truly love this one. After reading this book, you just felt the really genuine connection of each member, and I just love it. It's like a book for introverted book lover. If you like an introverted or you're like a book lover, you will definitely love this one. And I just love how the reason that they find the purpose of life are all connected to books. It gives me the vibe of The Intern, the movie by Anne Hathaway. They also talk about the unique friendship that they share. So this book is all about that. I highly recommend this one. It's such a good read. I feel like it deserves way more attention. I love how to describe the importance of libraries. So one of the quotes is that libraries are the one place left in society where you could spend time but not money. It's just really good, so I give it 5 stars. Honestly, I love this one. So that's all the books I've read in March. I enjoy so many of them, honestly. There are a couple of TBR for my next month. I'm now starting to read A Little Life. This is going to be my TBR for April. I'm already on 130 page, which so far so good. I do like it so far, and I love the writing style of it, and I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. I think I'm gonna do like a reading vlog with this book, so I'm gonna update you guys every 100 pages, so stay tuned for that. And the next book that I'm gonna read as well is called We All Want Impossible Things. This is a book about friendship, so I guess this could be a really heartwarming book as well. And also I'm gonna read the next book that from the book club. I'm also excited what books that they're gonna introduce. Yeah, it's really exciting. So basically that's all the books I've read in March. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you like some of the book recommendation, and let me know, is there any books have you read that changed your life, or is there any books have you read in March that you feel like I should read it as well in April? Yeah, just let me know. I will see you guys next month for my reading recap.